think it's evident that everyone knows at this point that I'm a huge Disney fan, so I decided to dive right in and try and create Disney princesses in D&D. To those who have just found this video, welcome to the channel. If you want to see more D&D content like this, just leave a like and give that subscribe button a good old push. Anyway, back to the video. I'll be using 3 factors when it comes to these princesses: the race, the class and subclass, and the background. I'm keeping it simple and will not multi-class unless it's needed. I'll be trying to make them as unique as possible, as nearly all the princesses could be bards, but I don't want to make them all bards. All these subclasses will be coming from the main source books, and I may use examples from other sources if it fits well. I don't want to go like full detail with stats and that. I want anyone to be able to pick up these and just join and play. I don't want this video to be 2 hours, so I'll be using the rules that Disney themselves imposes upon their princesses. Those rules being: the character must have a primary role in a Disney Pixar film. The character must be human or human-like in the cases of Ariel and formerly Tinkerbell. Yes, Tinkerbell was a Disney princess. She was part of the group until she was replaced by Tiana and now resides with the Disney fairies. Esmeralda and Jane Potter were also part of the Disney princess, but they were removed for different reasons. Esmeralda was removed due to the lack of interest in the character. She wasn't popular enough to be part of the cool kid, while Jane was kicked from the group fairly quickly as her dress looked too much like Belle's, so to save the confusion, she had to go. It's the same reason why Nala isn't a Disney princess, because she isn't human. The character should not be introduced in a sequel. The character should be born royal, married royal, or has performed an act of heroism. That last part was only added so Mulan could join the group, but that led to a lot of problems and confusion with others. Every other Disney princess follows these first 2 factors, or they're connected to the first 2, like how Moana is the daughter of the village chief, which back then is technically a princess. The character's film should be a box office success that is neither underwhelming nor overwhelming. Because of this, Elue from the Black Cauldron, Kida from Atlantis, and get this, Anna and Elsa from Frozen do not apply as Disney princesses. Yes, one of the highest grossing movies of all time, protagonists aren't Disney princesses. Technically, after Frozen 2, they're both queens, but Frozen sold too well. The sisters do not qualify for Disney princesses. They are in fact classed under the brand as Frozen as that trademark rather than the Disney princess trademark. There are many other factors including age and franchises which affect this, but I will have to go over that in another video. A lot of people could count as princesses, but I'm using the main princesses only for this video. It's like how the Schuyler sisters technically fall under the main rules, but due to other factors can't be classed as Disney princesses. I will hopefully go over this B list of princesses another time. Let's hi-ho to our first princess, the fairest of them all, Snow White. She is, as a race, a human, but she's pretty much the template princess when you think of princess. I did think of making her a high elf, but high elves can't sleep. They only go into a trance, so the big thing with Snow White is she does fall asleep, so human was the best choice. She managed to charm the prince, convince the huntsman not to kill her, and persuade the dolphins. Did I just say dolphin? Oh, the Snow White and the 7 dolphins. She manages to charm the prince, convince the huntsman not to kill her, and persuade the dwarves to let her stay. This is why she's a bard. She has high charisma, and making her a bard of glamour provides that beauty that she's famous for. However, her wisdom must be very low, as she's easy to trust any old hag giving out apples in the woods. Her background would have to fit her story best, so I chose to make Snow White have the inheritor background. She's not only a princess, so she is to inherit the kingdom in the future, but she's inherited the title Fairest of the Land, which the whole story follows the evil queen trying to take that title away from her by any means necessary, whether that be hiring a lackey to slay her or use a disguise to do it herself. It's actually a pretty decent plot hook for a DM to use for a campaign. Next up is the one that shall go to the ball, Cinderella. Again, we have another human, but one of the first we have to go into a little more detail about. I believe that Cinderella will fit the warlock class the best. Which pact would she make, however? I think the Archfey will be your best choice, as Cinderella's godmother is a fairy. To be exact, the fairy godmother is an Archfey that approached Cinderella with an offer: a chance to go to the ball. It is a limited spell because it does finish at midnight, so the fairy godmother could be not as powerful as it seems, or could have access to a well-crafted wish spell. The fairy godmother in Cinderella's story is lawful good, as she rewards Cinderella after the injustice she has been through. Cinderella's background would fit well as charlatan. She creates a false identity to go to the ball where no one can recognise her, not even her stepsisters. Let's go to our next princess, who honestly gave me so much pain to try and work out. It's Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty. Let's start with the obvious. She's human. She could be a variant human, but anyway, she's human. That's easy. Here's the tough part. Aurora is a very basic princess. She's treated more like an objective than a character. She's an NPC in Prince Philip's story. There's not much of personality there to expand upon. She could be a warlock, or her fairy aunties gift her powers like Cinderella, but that's more like stat boosts. A bard, did she dance that one time? I struggled to find something that fit. I looked at every option and I did something I wish I didn't. I went to a dark place to work this out. I went and watched Maleficent's Mistress of Evil. I went to the cinema, went to see it, and I walked out halfway through to go see Drew McIntyre at a meet and greet. To be honest, that was way better than the rest of the movie. I saw Becky Lynch, I hugged Rey Mysterio, and I saw Bray Wyatt murder Seth Rollins in a steel cage, which was way better than Hell in the Cell. He's got the whole world in his hand. Anyway, that first 45 minutes gave me a general idea of what Aurora fits best. Aurora fits best with the Oath of Ancients Paladin. She's currently taking the mantle as the Fey Queen like Maleficent before her. She's sworn to protect the fairy folk of the forest. She's a caring guardian of the woods. If we use the original movie, we can get Aurora's background as a far traveller. She did travel far to escape Maleficent, so it fits. Oh, I'm still in pain that I had to go back and rewatch that movie. Anyway, let's get away from that Mistress of Evil and talk about a funny girl named Belle. It's a song as old as time. At this point, we have another human, but this time, Belle's an artificer. Thanks to ABD Illustrations for giving me this idea. They make great art, and I've been watching the new animated series High Hopes, Low Rolls, which I highly suggest you check out. Check out their channel via the link down below. The artificer class fits best, as I did think at first, oh, she's books, she must be a wizard, but her father raised her to be an inventor, so it fits well that she might have taken up the mantle. If you really want those book smarts, you have to pick up the sage background. And with that, you have something there that wasn't there before. For Rapunzel, we have, you guessed it, another human, but we have a cleric this time. If you haven't watched the animated series, please know I will be spoiling part of it, because I want to talk about another class option. So if you just want to hear just the movie version, just pick Life Domain and skip to this time mark. Alright, ready? Okay, first I was going to have her as the Divine Soul Sorcerer, as the Sundrop Flower is where her power comes from. You can also mix in some of the dark magic like the reverse incantation. This brings so much good storytelling you can use for your D&D adventure, as your character's tempted between two things, the healing sun and the withering moon. For the background, I suggest a hermit. She's been isolated from the world, spending all those days watching from the windows. Time to touch the sky with my fellow haggis-eating princess. We have another human, but this is the first one. You can't pick any other class in Merida. She's a ranger, a hunter to be exact. I talked about maybe being a totem the bear barbarian or a beastmaster ranger, but she's not the one that gets turned into a bear, and a beast companion could work, but the extra accuracy of the hunter gives it that edge. I just went back through that audio and I forgot how Scottish I went. I think haggis is the trigger word. I chose Merida as a folk hero, although she is a noble. She's more known for her skills, and a folk hero fits this concept more. We have Jasmine next, who is a human. This is getting a little old. Anyway, the class that Jasmine fits best is a rogue. I thought about how Aladdin might have taught her a few things, but this fits as she's just as skilled as Aladdin in the sequels and the TV series. Her main skills comes from deception and talking. She's the future leader after all, so a acquisitive rogue would fit this best. This is something from the live action movie that ruined it. He was just like, oh, people won't listen to me and I won't go silent. But we saw before how she talked to everyone and they respected her. And then the original one, she's like, manages like shout these men like, I won't have my future decided and all that. And they added that bloody song and cut Proud of Your Boy again. I know it's just the one to the Oscar nomination, but you sing one job 3 times and butcher a whole new world. So where's the sad song about dead mothers, Disney, huh? Huh? Okay, sorry, I got a little... Mastermind fits Jasmine best with a noble background. Well, anyway. She's a princess that just wants to see a whole new world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Down to New Orleans we go, but we have Tiana. Tiana's big thing is she's a chef. She works hard and gets what she wants. There's homebrew chefs classes out there, but I'm sticking to the official things. Okay, hi, Jack from the future here. The script's been in work for a while, and only recently the Unearthed Arcana Chef feat was released, and I would definitely take this, even though Pachak said no feats, to keep it simple. Just, pick it up, it's going to help Tiana a lot. Let's go back to that Egypt now. I thought maybe she could be a monk with the acrobatics of a monk, but I want to use the abilities she had before she turned from a human into a frog. I was debating what she could be and decided Instead of Tiana at the start of the story, I'm going to use her at the end. I made Tiana a nature cleric. I'm mostly inspired how her friends are now the bayou creatures, and she can understand them, although she's now human once again. The patron could be a Mama Ode with the healing spells, can be administered via gumbo. I will say this is the biggest stretch I had to do, but this is what fits Tiana the best. There's no chef background, so I adapted entertainer to be like you're entertaining people your food. Like those waiters that come to your table and create a pancake right beside you. After all that rambling, I think we need to get down to business to defeat the Huns. Mulan's the easiest to create, a human samurai fighter. Add the charlatan background with voice identity to make others think, who is that girl I see? How many Disney references can I have in this video? My answer to that is another question. What makes you think there's a limit? Let's see what's just around the river bend with our next princess, Pocahontas. Pocahontas just screams druid. Our whole story focuses on respecting the land, so our circle of land druid fits well here. She's a human once again, and people might wonder like, oh, why not do like a forest druid? The whole point is she's a human. That's what the story's about. People look different, but they're human just like us, so having her different from the visiting English people would kind of be ruin the plot of Pocahontas. The Outlander background fits well here, as compared to the English, the natives are from a distant land, far away from civilization. Even if you don't want to use this character template to create Pocahontas, you might want to use this to help you think what a druid is about and what they stand for. So who's next? Probably another human. Let's see. Ariel! Yes! Finally someone who isn't human. I can finally escape the hole of making all the other princesses damn it! Okay, I am cheating. Although she gets turned into a human at the end, I'm having her as a Triton. Tritons live under the sea and are already based on mermaids apart from the tail, so it's a perfect match. What class would Ariel be? A warlock could work if she made a deal, but that would mean she have to be human to be a warlock. But I found a class that Ariel will thrive in. Ariel's a bard. There's no other option. Bardal lore fits well as she's been collecting so much information about the world outside of the sea. It's not about her beauty, but how well she can sing. Time to bring up some homebrew, and if you're familiar with the channel, you know what I'm going to be on about. The College of the Opera Bard. Kelly Butler on Twitter created the opera subclass in DM Skill. I've already made a video on that where I will chuck down below for you guys to check out once again. College of the Opera are performers upon a stage, and most abilities are about singing. Ariel, with a noble background, fits as she's the daughter of the King of the Ocean, Poseidon. Ariel is one of those princesses that I would love to be part of my D&D world. And finally, we have gone so far, but now let's see how far we'll go. Okay, that wordplay was awful that time. And I'm sorry. I'll stop. You're welcome. Okay. Moana's another human and fits well. Druid. Circle of the Coast Druid fits best. I did think she'll be a warlock with the Great Old One or something homebrew to do with the water. Go full little Kutua on them, but honestly, protecting nature of a druid fits way better. A far traveller background is superb for Moana's story as she's all about travelling. And with that, you now know how to make the Disney princesses in D&D. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and didn't mind the many Disney puns. I'm glad to share my two loves with everyone, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and hope to see you guys next time. And